Ah, yeah, yeah, and you don't stop. Here I am once again, Adam Cypher in the building. Yeah. uh, you know, first let me start off by saying, before I go any further, I have to say the most important thing. If you don't remember anything else from what it is that I'm going to be bringing to you here, I need for you to remember this. All praise due to the Most High, from which all things come, the total ruler of it all. Yes, Lord. All right. Now, with that being said, we can move forward. Now, moving forward, I have to just come out and apologize for not being able to be with you on the 24th as I had originally planned it. And for those who were checking on the website and who seen that date on the website, and I had to change that date, that was due to technical difficulties. I do apologize, and that is not your fault. That is my fault. I should have had these things worked out much sooner, but I did not. And the result was that by the time I had it ready, it was not enough time to give a proper show. I was totally thrown off. But as you can see here now today, let me put this up a little high. As you can see here now today, I am here, and it seems like all my systems are working and functioning well. This is the Cypher Consortium's Eyes On Network. Eyes On Network. We see things. And this network is designed to bring you some things, topics, reviews, and sort of such news, and we are consistent with the message that is on the website. So please visit the website. That is www.thecypherconsortium.com. www.thecypherconsortium.com. That's Cypher with a Y. CYPHER Consortium. CONSORTIUM.com. Check it out, www. And when you check us out, check the whole site out. There's many things to see, and I've been all over it. Now, back to what slowed this down a little bit more on those technical difficulties. I couldn't get my Bluetooth working. I couldn't get a bunch of the systems to function together. I hadn't updated this particular laptop that's in the office. Haven't updated it in about maybe almost a year, probably. So imagine turning it on after a year and all the systems are like out of sync, and you have like a couple of hours to do your show. I like to start my shows at around like 9 o'clock. So imagine that I'm supposed to do my show at like 9, and that's when I check it at like 8:30. I checked it at like 8:30. I said, all right. I was running late anyway, so I checked it about 8:30. I was scheduling to come on at 9:30, and I turned the systems on, and all the systems are out of date. When I say everything's out of date, everything's out of date. Some of the stuff wasn't even working anymore. It seems like some of these systems are completely done. I have one of these old laptops, which is why I also have to give you guys some sound advice. Check on your electronics, all right? Periodically go out there and check in on your electronics and make sure that the electronics that you have and that you are using are current and up to date and are still compatible with the other technologies that you have. You must check all of these things out. If you have like flash drives sitting around, or old cell phones with pictures stored on them and different things like that, different kinds of technological electronic devices, whether they be old or new, you should check in on them. Let this be the PSA for that right now. Check in on your electronics and make sure everything is up to date and compatible. Luckily, it's only been about a year since I used this equipment here, and it wasn't that far outside of my understanding that I couldn't figure these things out. Now, you also have to realize that these models of technology that I'm using as well are these models of technology. I bought literally this laptop that I have that I'm using right now. This laptop is like from 2013, right? 2013 laptop. Now, the laptop is still really, really good. Excuse me. The laptop is still really, really good. And one of the great things about this laptop, this 2013 laptop, is that it still has the CD drive where I can still burn CDs and still play CDs and things like that. And it also has the SD card where you can slide the SD card in. And it has a couple of USB ports, not any of the flash ones, but it has 4 USB ports, and it has the HDMI ports, and it still has all of that technology that I'm still able to utilize. And this is pretty powerful. And then I have, some old cameras. I have a camera from about maybe this laptop camera here is from about maybe 2010 or something like that. No, maybe it's 2020. No, yeah, I got these in 2020. So these things are some pretty old technology, and this microphone and everything. But the funny thing, the microphone was fine. But these headphones, the Beats headphones, and a bunch of the Bluetooth devices that I have, they become incompatible. Imagine that, some of your articles and the things that you utilize becoming incompatible, so that when you turn them on, they don't come on. And you just waiting and waiting. You're like, oh, what's going on? Then when you start checking into it, you're seeing that certain systems aren't up to date. And then you know what else I found out? I found out that I was using not my administrative, I was not using my administrative accounts on my computer for most of the time. I was using it at one time, and then I had an issue with the administrator account, like on that part of it. So I switched over to another account on my laptop, and I've been using that account for probably like 10 years. Not 10 years. Well, maybe about like a good 5 or 6 years. 5 or 6 years I've been using the guest account. Well, it's not a guest account. It's like a family account. So I made the family account for me because one of my administrator account had an issue, and I didn't feel like fixing the issue at that time. So I just made another account, and I linked them to the family account so I could just switch between those two accounts. And I never really went back to the administrator account. And it took me hours just to figure that part out, because everything that I tried would be prevented. And I would give myself administrative rights because it's my computer, my laptop. Who you think it's yours, but you got to kind of actually make sure that stuff is on point. So I had that going on. And, outside of that going on, as I said to you before, some of this technology it's no longer in use, or they have newer systems. So Bluetooth has newer Bluetooth. Did you know that? There's different types of Bluetooths. I did not know that there were different types of Bluetooths. So some of the Bluetooth systems are still compatible with others, but some of them, they're no longer being required. They're no longer being updated, or, you have to switch to something different, or you have to find like a workaround. So, that was pretty annoying, because Bluetooth allows you to free up multiple ports so you can have different things running without having so many things plugged into the laptop, which would, cause the laptop to just have all of these wires around, and, the setup is really whack, and, you can't move things around the way you would like them. So the Bluetooth is a great option that was out, and I needed that. I don't like my headphones to be stuck, to the laptop. And even I would like a wireless mic, but I think that this mic is sufficient. This mic is sufficient. I do enjoy this one. So but anyway, that is what held up the show on the 24th. And I did finally get it together by about maybe 11:45 or something like that. I had it pretty much together by that time, and that was obviously too late. So, I had to switch around some things. I had to switch that around. So that is for people to understand that reality is always at hand. Reality is something that you must constantly check in on. That was a prime story of an example of a person not tending to his business properly, so that it became an issue when it was necessary. Okay? Let that be something that you keep in mind. Keep that in your mind. Tend to your business so that your business can be tended to. In the time of need, it will be right for you. So that gave me the different thinking for now. But we have a whole show. Now, what is this? This is Eyes On Network. Eyes On Network. And with Eyes On Network, I told you we like to bring to you news, reviews, different facts, a little bit of entertainment. We bring a little bit of everything, some education, a little bit of enlightenment, a little bit of inspiration. We like to try to give you a whole gambit of things that you can enjoy. Just wanted to check on the lights. A gambit of things that you can enjoy so that you might be able to look to something wholesome. This is all coming from yours truly. Yeah. All right. So what are we doing on this show? So let me address a few things from the last show. The last show is still on the website and it is on YouTube. Subscribe to the Adam Cypher YouTube channel. And also go to the website, the Cypher Consortium website, or the Adam Cypher site, and check Adam Cypher out, his products and things like that there. But what was the word just now? I gotta start saying exactly what's on my mind at the time and not double back. That happens, and we can get forgetful. But what was the next movement? All right, well, I'll just get on with the show. So, getting on with the show, and please forgive me for forgetting what I was going to say. I guess it wasn't that important. But getting on with the show, from the last show, Eyes On Network, right? From the last show of Eyes On Network, what I need to address is that I said that I would come back with a segment on rap and hip hop and a deeper message and a deeper meaning. What was some lyrics that we heard, during times of, people being able to, people rapping and, doing their thing, MCing. Was there messages that we missed? Is there anything there that could have been dissected that might have been a little bit deeper? Is there, anything more to the lyrics? Anything more to the lyrics? So that is what I needed to address, because in this show that we're going to be doing, we're going to be breezing over that, and we're going to be addressing that at a different time. I had a special guest that I wanted to bring in, so I still have to line that back up. Time frames and schedules are always something to take into consideration. But it will get together. Oh, you're going to love it at some point. I promise you that. Let's see. So that was something that I wanted to address. Also, what else was it that I wanted to address? Oh, yes. The consistency of the show. The consistency of the show that I spoke about in the first show. So I am still working out the plan for that. And I'll take a brief second to speak on that part of it. One of the brief reasons why it's taken me some time to bring you consistent content in a certain manner is because it has to be linked to more than just something to do. Do you understand? Adam Cypher needs to be inspired by what it is that he's doing and what it is that he does. He needs to be inspired because, well, it has to be worthy of bringing happiness or bringing joy to me. I have to get joy from doing it. And just speaking out loud to a camera isn't truly enough to bring joy to Adam Cypher. Think about that. All right. No disrespect to anybody who doesn't have an issue with that. It's just something that you have to really consider what it is that you're doing, even when you're doing something. We're talking to a camera. We're talking to a camera. We're talking to technology. We're talking to pretty much a robot. And you are giving the robot a lot out of you as far as emotion, if you have that to give, and feeling and energy, of some sort. You're giving to a thing that is not necessarily an animate or a flesh and bone or a natural creation. You understand? So as I'm giving my energy to this creation, I have to line it up in such a way where it makes sense to me. Respectfully, it has to make sense to me. And it has to make sense to me in more than one way. It has to make sense in such a manner in where it brings me joy. And the speech alone and the setup is not enough to generate that sort of inspiration and feeling in and of itself, if that makes sense. It's very difficult to describe these things to, everyone, because we don't all think the same. And speaking plainly, I've found it to be very unhelpful in matters of people understanding me. So I give it to you in this manner because it's easier to understand the wording. I have to attach everything that I do to something joyous and inspiring. Okay? So when I make these videos, they have to have meaning. They have to have great meaning. I have to want to look back on them and feel proud of what it is that I've done. I have to feel happy about what it is that I've done. I have to feel like it was worth doing. You understand? I want people to look at what I've done in years down the line. I want them to feel entertained and intrigued, and I want them to feel interested. I want them to feel empowered. I want them to feel enlightened. I want them to feel educated. I want them to walk away from my experience joyous. And I want to advance society, as the mission statement goes for the Cypher Consortium. So Adam Cypher's job truly is to be a source of inspiration from a source of inspiration. You understand? So that is part of that. So when I come up with the topics, I have to really think about the topic, and I have to think about the reasons that we're here. The reasons. You know what I'm saying? Gotta think about the reasons, man. And when I think about the reasons have to be such that I always feel like that was a good idea. You see that? Because that's what's happening now with our digital footprint. I'm not so big on anything else, but to speak about your digital footprint, meaning that what you have out there that is out here for consumption. That energy that you have released. The energy that you have released into the world. What is that energy going to do? They speak of this thing called the butterfly effect. Like if a butterfly flaps his wings in a certain place, does that flapping of the wings eventually translate into a giant windstorm? Or, does the culmination of butterflies swirling eventually cause something to happen? So it's something to that effect, meaning you should just, like I always say, be mindful of the things you put out. So I'm mindful of the things that I put out, and I do my best to put out things that I can stand behind, things that I stand on, and that I will probably always stand on. Growth is good. Change is good. Change is good and change is necessary. But you must have a standpoint that is solid as a rock. Solid. You got to be solid out here. And you got to be solid with one person more than anyone else. You got to be solid with yourself. All right? Be solid with yourself more than with anyone else. You. Whatever it is that you're doing, make sure it's something that you can deal with, that you can live with. You know what I'm saying? It may not be important to you in the short term, but I can assure you, in the long term, all things that you have done will be put into question. It will be laid on the scales. And I'm not even talking about after you die. I'm talking about right here while you alive. All your deeds over time begin to paint a picture of who you are. All your videos over time begin to paint a picture of who you are. All your pictures that you put up begin to tell a story about who you are. And sometimes your story needs to be a story that is disciplined. A disciplined story is a great story. That's right. Because what do they call it? TMI, too much information. Too much information at times can be detrimental to one's future. In all essence. In all essence. Be careful how one is saturated with your presence and with your energy. You hear what I said? Be careful how one saturates others with one's essence and energy. You know? Somebody might find the formula. Yeah. I can't talk. This is cool. See, I still have a lot of things to work out. So, this show here is dedicated to me discussing with you guys some of the ins and outs of the behind the scenes with what's going on here. So I gave you a little bit of pointers on a few things from the last show and how that's going to move forward, because those are still things that I have to go back to because I said I would do them. So being that I said I would do them, the shows will be done. It's just the setup and the concept, and you know, I want to bring to you quality as well. I don't just come to you with something half. You know, I don't just come to you with some, even though everything that I do is a freestyle. These are all freestyle shows. There's no script. Now, even when there is a script, it is not a script as to what it is that I should do, but it is a script as to what it is that I'm going to be bringing in the points that I would like to bring them, like in the order necessarily. I already know the information, but sometimes I like to bring them in a specific order. But these are unscripted, meaning that there's nothing here that I'm reading. I'm just, you know, speaking to you, and I occasionally look at myself because that is the coolest thing of all. But I look at the camera, I look at the mic, I look at the screen. This is my laptop. You know, this is the station here. This is my office. I have some things here. This is a very inspiring place for me. I can assure you, it is very inspiring to be in this office, and I'm looking to enhance that as well. Yeah, but you know, these these type of scenarios, you know, where putting this information and putting these shows out, you know, you just want to be very careful about, you know, what it could be surmised, you know, what you could be, you know, ultimately concluded to be. Just want to be mindful. Yeah, and as always, I'd like to thank all the content creators who are out there, all the content creators who have embodied the study of epistemology and the exercise and distribution of such study. I would like to thank those who know and those who do not know. And I don't speak so people can't understand, but it is just the study of knowledge. The study of knowledge is why most of us are on YouTube. We crave knowledge. And most of us go to these places with the craving for learning, as well as entertainment. But is there things to learn? And I thank the countless content creators who have taken time to put out quality videos that teach and inform, that take us higher. I like to have a funky good time, but I always want to go higher. And I'm very appreciative to the ones who have taken hold of that and who have been able to distribute that. I need to be in that number. I got to be in that number. And as always, Adam Cypher's working on so many things behind the scenes. I got to tell you. I know, so I see some of you talking crazy. I see some of you talking crazy, ooh, crazy. Leaving all kinds of, what they call them, innuendos, implications, and what do they call that? General, like subliminal. I see the subliminal. I see them shits. I see. Yes. And I do my best not to take those things to heart. We don't know who. They say if the shoe fits, but we living in a time where most shoes will fit. Most of the shoes is fit in most situations. You know what I'm saying? But you got to branch out. So I branched out. So I'm way branched out, and I got broader perspective by branching out. Being a branched out person mentally, it allows you room to exercise growth, a certain type of growth. All growth is good. Don't touch that. Certain growth is good. Certain growth is good. All right. So yeah, still learning the station. So that, like I said, this show right here is intended to address those topics. Eyes On Network is still going to be bringing you a lot, as I said to you before. But the quality of things. I'm always working to have a certain level of quality assurance. I do my best to at the stage that I'm at. Anytime that I bring something to the public or anytime that I bring something to the people, I take some serious time and effort to bring a product that will be somewhat worthy. I want it to be very high on the scale, but we have to grow, and there's a learning curve. As you learn, you grow, and I always want it to be something. Because I want it to be something for me. More some. I like watching my own content. I'm sure some of you have some content. I like creating stuff and then looking at it, and one day I have a plan. There's all kinds of plans. Trust me. That's what I was saying. So, I got the plans coming. So these things, there's a lot coming from the Cypher Consortium and Adam Cypher, and these things are the learning curve. You were in the learning curve stage. Learning curve, but I see a lot of things. This is a beautiful journey. I want to share more things with you, but sharing is best done at the proper times. Timing is everything. And I'm never in a rush, because as one of my most favorite wise men said, that time is of the essence, but forever new beginning, no concern for the ending. Yeah. So I'm more concerned with what it is that I'm doing, and timing is very important, but there is no rush. You understand? There's no rush to put out the things that I feel are worthy. Look into my products, please, to see that I am taking great effort to give you something worthy. These things that I offer are exactly what they are. Understand that. I'm working to make it better. I'm working to make it accessible, very accessible. I'm working to make all things very accessible. But the building process, you must understand, has taken a whole nother turn in like the last few years where it has shifted. In the shift, because I am also a shifty person, not in a clever and deceitful and crafty way, but in a manner of gears. I shift gears. I shift gears. I will shift gears. Yeah, that's right. So I shift gears. So shifty. But these things are, these are all the ideals and the thought processes behind what's going on. So I wanted to bring that to you. There is a segment of shows that I'm looking to bring. There's a series that I want to bring. Now, this series that I'm looking to bring is I don't want to give out too much, but I will say this. It's so important that I do this correctly that I did not want to jump the gun and try to add this explanation in with that show. You understand? I have the show ready. I have it ready. Right now I have it ready. But I'm moving almost like my pops, man. He got a bunch of sayings, and he says things, and a lot of the things that he says makes more sense, in your adulthood than it does in your childhood. But he says, Adonai Tatif Tak Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. He says that, right? And it has a certain meaning, and the meaning of that is very good because I say that in my own head, and when I say it, the right things come forth. It's a beautiful thing for those who know. And that show that I was going to bring to you today, I didn't want to taint it, or not taint it, but I didn't want to, I wanted the focus to totally be on that because it's worthy. That show is worthy. This show that I'm going to put out, that show is worthy. But that show is part of a series that I want to bring, but I haven't quite battened it down yet, And once I present one part of it, I don't know if I can do it right after that. You dig? So I want to do it right. It's important I do it right. It's important to me because I'm going to be watching that video. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be watching that video. And as I watch that video, I want to be thoroughly entertained, and I want to make sure I hit the right points. And then I want to make sure I bring the series of that, just like I did for Black History Month. I'm really considering if I should do it in that manner. There's different components here, different chambers to the Cypher Consortium. There's different chambers in the Cypher Consortium. This is the Eyes On Network component. This is the Eyes On Network chamber. And I gotta tell you, man, I be trying to figure out what to put in each chamber and why. It has to make sense. And I got fire. When I tell you I got fire products, I'm gonna change the world with these products. I'm gonna change things with these products. I'm already changing things with my existence. My mere existence alone changes things. That's a fact. But some of these products that I have are seriously going to change things. And I have great products. I have a lot of them. And you can't understand how cool it is. I put it in my song already. My song, Make Your Music, y'all. Go get my song. Buy the song. It's on the website. You can buy it, listen to the song. Play the song, Make Your Music, y'all. There's so many great products coming. I put the message in that song. And there's a lot going on. I was thinking about getting a haircut, and my hair looks cooler than it. I gotta get the lights going right. Like you can't see the way the curls are, and the curls is they looking dope. This whole joint is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I got it's sun is out. It's springtime. You know what I'm saying? Oh, did y'all realize that the sun just like in 1 or 2 days just started going down, and like 4 hours later than it was going down? Like there was a point where the sun was going down at like it was going down at like maybe 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock. Now the sun is going down at 8 o'clock. 8. Another story for another time. But so Eyes On Network is going to be bringing you plenty of great content. But I still want to bring you lives as well. Lives on YouTube, lives on Twitch, and lives on Instagram. So all of these different things that I have going on, they are linked to different things. But I'm going to be way more consistent with each one, but they have to be linked, as I said. So I have some pretty awesome things coming from, the Cypher Consortium. It's going to be on the site. There's some things that I'm going to be promoting also on Instagram and a few of the different social media platforms that we are associated with. There's going to be a few things that will be a few hints will be dropped within the time frames of these things being made available to you. And it is the intent to create enjoyable products, and products that are quality, and products that are something that is appreciated. We want the products to bring you in. We're working on a lot of things. The Cypher Consortium and we are working on a lot of things as far as creating the scenario that will make you more comfortable. I have that planned already. That's already in motion. The Cypher, listen, I put it in the song. Move like this is chess. Put that in your chest. Chest is, like a treasure chest. Put that in your chest. Move like this was chess. And put that in your chest. And then bury that up. Yeah, it's more right. But just understand, I'm working. And you are going to love. You gonna love this. And if you like this right here, leave a heart or something like that, or a like or a thumbs up. There's so many different wild platform scenarios. If leave something here, and understand that this content that I'm gonna bring with this next series, I'm gonna bring that series, and I'm considering if I should do it similar to Black History Month, but I'm not gonna do it like that. But I want to come up with a concept so that series it's gonna be a dope series. I just can't do one video. I have the one that could have been this video today. I could have just did an hour video on that one topic, and it would have been dope. But it's part of so much of a creative thing that I feel like I gotta do it this way. This is I opened the mouth, and this is what came out. And this is the intent. This is it. I was inspired. Yes, Lord, inspired. So, with all of that laid on the table, we are coming up on the 40-minute mark. 40 minutes of this Eyes On Network, and a little bit of me giving my public a bit of a heart-to-heart. Speaking with you in a very open and honest manner about the goings on of business as an entrepreneur and a man of many hats. There are many things to take into consideration, and a little bit of, I would guess, advice I would give to all the men in earshot of what it is that I am saying. Be careful what you agree to. Or, and be careful on the journeys that you embark on. As a man, you will be thoroughly entranced in what it is that you do. It will affect you. So make sure that you are choosing things that will preserve you and that deserve you. Okay? Make sure you choose things that will preserve you and that deserves you. And then do it for people who appreciate it. And that is it. That is it. Do it for those who appreciate. And do it in the name of. And you can't go wrong. All right. So with all of that being laid on the table, we're going to call this episode a wrap. And hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully I entertained, enlightened, educated just a little bit, inspired, and gave you something to consider. I won't take no more of your time because it's Sunday, the first day of the week. We just came off the fly 7th day. Yeah, yes, Lord. And now we back at it on Sunday, starting up with the work. All right. So I got a bunch of things that I want to do, and I will get back to you. Hopefully, this was cool. Peace. Now, how do I?